1. So I was doing Christmas shopping for the family. I'm only 20 and I'll admit it, I definitely have the "this is my first job" type of clothing, a baseball cap, a loose polo tee, khakis, or similar looking pants. Whenever I go to Target, I have to double check that I'm not wearing any red, or I'm paranoid the whole trip. Anyway, I was on a call with my mom at the time because we were trying to figure out what to get my little sister. She's 11. She was feeding me my sister's Christmas list and I was relaying price, options, things like that. We had a whole operation going on. I finished up the call and was going shelf to shelf, putting some of the things back so I didn't blow my paycheck on dolls of food with eyes. I don't know. Don't ask. In hindsight, I was a lanky young man in Target manager clothing with a full cart of toys I was putting back on the shelf. I was even reordering things because, Jesus Christ, how hard is it to just put things back nicely? Within a minute or two of me hanging up, a couple came up behind me and asked me where to find the Brat stalls. Now, I'd spent the last half hour scouring the shelves, price hunting and bargain shopping, like a coupon-clipping mom with nothing to lose. I knew pretty damn well where the Brat stalls, Barbie dolls, eyeball food, and even the little pet animals were, so of course I was able to tell her. As soon as I did, they left, and an older man walked up to me. He asked me where the littlest pet shops were, and I obliged. We had a pleasant exchange about children's toys, kids these days, yada yada, and he left. I was happy to help, but I had stuff to put back and dinner to get to. Another few minutes passed by, and in the middle of searching for a cheaper doll, a woman somewhere in her mid-40s at least came up to me and asked me where the Army Men toys were. By now I was pretty out of energy, and I was getting annoyed with all the shopping, and I had absolutely no idea where they were. I told her, "Sorry, I don't know," and kept searching. A solid 10 seconds of silence went by, and she tapped me on the shoulder. Oh boy. She started with a classic line. "Is this what your generation is learning? You think you can just come to your job and fool around for your whole shift, then go home and get a nifty paycheck to spend on weed and fast food?" She only had half of that, right? I can't resist a Wendy's sandwich. "I ought to talk to your manager and tell him you aren't doing your job." At this point, I kinda drifted out of paying attention. I took a couple minutes to reflect on what was going on, to make some mental notes. First, to go back and get the bigger doll, it wasn't that much more. Second, to remember that I should respect my elders. And third, to make some wardrobe changes immediately. Finally, I snapped out of it. "I'm sorry, but I don't work here. I'm shopping." She kind of stopped and hung with her mouth open mid-shout. I wish I could have peered into her mind and seen what she was thinking, but alas. After a beat, she turned around and walked away with a muttered sorry. She forgot her cart. Moral of the story: diversify your wardrobe and don't wear a polo shirt. 2. Just as a preface, I'd like to set this scene. I was working a 4-hour shift that seemed to be moving too slow. My other colleague had just left for the night, leaving me as the only employee on the upstairs floor. Our store has been having big sales one after another every week, as they are trying to offload any stock that we have. This is because the store is expected to undergo a major change soon, so that means no new stock. Things have actually dwindled, and we've been able to close off half of the floor here. I was just returning some go-backs that came from downstairs when a customer asked me to remove a sweater off a mannequin for him. I had just put it back when his wife approached me and asked me to check the price of a sweater and 2 dress shirts for toddler boys. The promo running this week was 40% off everything, except a specialty brand of toddler sweaters. This included sale items. I smiled and agreed before I took the clothes and walked straight to the register to check them for her. She was escorted right behind me with the group that she came in with, another couple minus her husband. They were quickly distracted and left her alone with me, for some clothes that caught their eyes. The sweater rang with no problem, but she wanted me to tell her the prices after the discount. That was no problem because there was nothing really going on. It was the dress shirts that brought in the problem. What happened is that one of the shirts rang at a lower price, the sale price, and not the original price on the tag, while the other rang at the price on the tag. They were similar in design and color, but had different patterns and prints on them. Me, okay, this one will be $5.99 after the 40% off, and this one will come down to $16.99. Wife,
Why aren't they both $5.99? The other lady told me this one, holding up the cheaper one, was $5.99. They both have the same price on the tag.
Me, yes, that is $5.99. It's the other shirt that rings at the original price. What happened is that we forgot to put a lower price tag on the first one, so that shirt will be cheaper than the other one. Wife,
But they have the same price tag. Why aren't they both $5.99?
Trying to give the most logical yet simple answer that I could come up with at that moment, I responded, they may have the same price tag, but because they have different designs and slightly different colors, they ring up as different items. That's why one could have a discount while the other doesn't. Wife,
Yes, but they both have the same price tag on them.
What's so fucking hard to get? I'll just try this one more through another analogy. So there I quickly tried with the next reasoning that popped in my head. Me. That may be, but more often than not, items that have been in the store longer than others tend to get sale prices before others. I believe that's why one of the shirts is at a lower price than the other one. I could see the moment that she understood, and it couldn't have come at a better time, because I don't think there was any other way that I could have explained why they may have been different prices. Wife,
Thank you so much for your help.
Me, no problem. She then left with her entourage, shortly to pay downstairs after picking a couple of more things. 3. So I work for a company that recently had a cream cheese scandal. Not related, just interesting. And is also trying to make the FDA define the word egg. This particular store is a corporate store and has all the basic rules and safety stuff. That being said, in most drive-thrus there is a sign posted that walk-ups to the window will not be accepted due to safety concerns. Our store also has that sign. A little backstory to yesterday's fun events. 1. I had gotten married the night before and I'm young and slightly poor, so both my husband and I went to work the next day. It was exhausting. I stayed up way too late and had too much sugar. 2. Usually there are 5 people working the drive-thru by 11 a.m. It's a Monday, so I didn't expect it to be too busy. And it wasn't. But both the 9 a.m. person and the 10 a.m. person had called out. There was also no 11 a.m. person. Fun. Luckily, the front of the house could spare a person. 3. I am the only person making food, and I have been the only person making food, and helping my co-worker with taking orders, and collecting pastries since 6 a.m., minus a 30-minute break, so I was a little calmer after 9. So, after a morning of both grumbling that my co-workers didn't show, but also being concerned for them because they have health and family things going on, and wouldn't call unless needed, it was me and 2 cashiers at around 11 a.m. The drive-thru line was wrapped around the building, and people were starting to get impatient. For only 3 people, we did damn good in getting orders out in a timely manner. Then the asshole drives up. Big, loud-ass truck that he has to turn off so we can hear him. My co-worker greets him. Thanks him for choosing Breadland, how can I help you, in her cheery fake customer voice. He rattles off his order and drives off. Nothing too complicated, just rude. Whatever, happens daily. He arrives at the window and it turns out the order taker forgot to ring the food in. Me, being the somewhat competent food maker I am, made the food and had it ready by then. I wear the headset all day and hear all the orders being taken. He gets rung out and his food is given to him and he's gone. Or so I had hoped. The jackass stopped in front of the store and got out of his truck to walk up to the drive-thru window while someone else was parked there. Honestly baffled at how ignorant this man is, the poor lady at the window quickly rolls her window up. My co-worker politely asked the man why he was at the window, then turned around and shut the window and told us we forgot a soup. He stopped in a drive-thru and walked back to the window for a soup. I understand our soup is expensive and I would be upset too. Neither of the cashiers wanted to hand it out, so I made it and walked to the window. Sir, here is your soup. Just to let you know though, next time please come inside. We aren't allowed to take walk-ups. It's a safety hazard to you, and the workers and anyone who's driving, I said in my friendly customer voice.
Oh, so you want me to go inside and wait in that long line for a soup? You forgot. Never before have I had to wait this long in a fucking drive-thru line. This is ridiculous. I'm not going to wait inside.
He was yelling at me and just holding up the line. I honestly lost my temper, but managed to not throat punch this dumb entitled fuck. Mini rant. I understand it's a hassle, but this is a popular place and, really? You were gonna complain that it takes longer around 12 to get food than off times? Fucking shocking, man, shocking. It's almost like other people eat here. It's almost like the store I work in is constantly out of shit and understaffed, as most fast food restaurants are. Rant over. Back to the story. So I angrily told him, well, I am so sorry that you had to wait in a line, and slammed the window shut and walked away. I let it go, and now it's kind of funny. I haven't had any talks about it. Honestly, even if he did call the store, my managers are decent people who would probably take my side. All in all, I really like working at this place, and most days are good. Like 90% of the customers are nice, and very understanding, and I love my coworkers. I just wish I could throw hot soup on dumb people like that man. 4. I work at an arts and crafts store. We sell mostly home decor and kids' crafts. During Christmas time, I was on the floor putting stuff where it goes, because people are messy. This late 50s, early 60s lady walks up to me and says, I need help with a floral arrangement. So I ask, oh, did you want to have one made? Yeah, I saw these buckets of flowers and wanted one. Okay, so I called our girl that makes the floral arrangements over the mic. Hey, Shannon, I guess wants to order a floral arrangement. One of the buckets? And Shannon says, what buckets? I confirmed the lady. You wanted a custom floral arrangement, right? Well, I need help figuring out which color ribbon would look best on my Christmas tree. I need someone who knows about color. I need someone who knows about floral and color. Well, great. Now Shannon stopped doing shit from the store to help. Over the mic, never mind, Shannon. Okay, well, I know about color and I work in the floral department. I can help you. Why did you tell her never mind? I need your color specialist and your floral expert. So I'm thinking, okay, no, you don't. We don't have either of those. I know about color schemes and the floral department. I can help you. No, you can't. You don't know about color. I need someone who knows about color and floral. I have a green Christmas tree in a really royal purple room. I need help picking one of these colors of ribbon. I need someone who knows about color and floral. She keeps repeating versions of that. I'm super frustrated. She's holding up 2 ribbon spools that are exactly the same color of canary yellow, except one has glitter. Literally the only difference. I'm 5 seconds away from lying and saying I'm an art major with a minor in botany. I point to the one with less glitter. That one will work better because it will make the room look less busy, and it won't overpower the purple. She finally takes that as an answer, after sighing and looking at me like I'm an idiot. Later, she tells my manager I refuse to call a color specialist and floral expert. Manager isn't mad, just says that everyone on the floor is doing their job. Now, the thought process of this lady. Did she need 3 people to help her pick out a shade of ribbon? Did she want me to yell at my manager? Lisa, send the art major! Get the floral expert! We have a Christmas ribbon emergency! 5. I repeated I'm sorry I don't actually work here so often at my last job that it was the first thing to come out of my mouth whenever someone greeted me. My previous job was at a company that rhymes with piss. Essentially, we traveled to stores and logged their inventory for them. The uniforms were dark pants, a navy polo, and the company's initials in large print on the back and smaller print on the front left breast. and a name tag on the right breast with the company's initials right above our name. There was literally no way to mistake us for any store employee. We were branded everywhere you looked, and yet, here we are. Our company usually only dealt with larger stores that would otherwise take a week to sort out inventory if it weren't for us. Therefore, you have a lot of lazy people that throw shit wherever they please. That means a simple scan, count, go turns into stand, pull out everything in this large container, scan every individual item, go. Our antagonist, cranky old woman, had a problem with this. As a side note, our location for the day was Party City. Me sorting and scanning plastic utensils that were mixed together. Cranky old woman taps me on the shoulder.
Excuse me?
Me. Hi, I'm sorry, I actually don't... Cranky old woman.
Where are the streamers?
Me. I'm not sure, you'll have to flag down an employee. Cranky old woman.
Why don't you know?
Me. I don't work here, I'm just contracted to do their inventory. Cranky old woman.
Well, that sounds like you work here. You're stocking shelves.
Me. Actually, I'm just counting these, I have to scan each. Cranky old woman.
I don't have time for this. Just get me white and red streamers.
At this point, I'm exasperated with continuously being cut off and walk off to find an employee. I had to beg a teenage girl to leave the register and come talk to this woman. Employee. Hello, ma'am, I'm told you're looking for a product. Cranky old woman.
I don't need your help.
The girl just shrugged and walked back to the register, and I went back to counting, foolishly thinking that the woman had become fed up and was going to find them herself. Cranky old woman jabs her finger into my side.
This is your job. Now get my streamers before I report you to the manager.
Me. Miss, I work at Piss. I point to each area on my person that displays the initials. I can't help you. I'm being timed on how fast I get done with my work, so if you wouldn't mind, I really need to do my job. She scowled at me and snatched a few of the utensils off the shelf that I had finished sorting. She accidentally dropped two on the floor and walked away with a large green plastic fork. I just picked them up and went back to what I was doing. Not even 15 minutes later, I heard my manager yell at my employee number. Thinking that I had skipped a section in my row or something, I immediately put down my gun and jogged over. Cue cranky old woman standing with her wrinkled claws around my manager's arm and a shit-eating grin on her face. Manager. Sartorial Fox, this woman claims to have witnessed you stealing merchandise. Me. I'm sorry, what did I steal? Cranky old woman.
Don't lie, I saw it. You took a fork and put it in your pocket.
Me. A fork. Cranky old woman.
Exactly.
Me. And why would I need a plastic fork? Cranky old woman.
I don't know. You took it.
Me. Miss, do you mean that fork sticking out of your basket? I pointed to the very obvious utensil right on top of her other items. It looked like she didn't even try to hide it. At this point, my manager just wanted to end the conversation and get back to work. So he gave me a "if I catch you stealing, you'll be terminated immediately" spiel, which seemed to please the creature, and I was sent off to keep working. What I still don't understand is that she, presumably, understood that I didn't work there, and that it wasn't my responsibility to help her, since she successfully found and flagged down my superior. Apparently, she just really wanted to find a reason to have someone get in trouble because of her. I'm just glad I don't have to deal with that bullshit anymore. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to Adventures in Fast Food and Retail number 13. Thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. Well, as I've been recording this, I've been battling with my old nemesis, the wanker on the dirt bike. He's been up to his old tricks again. It seems to have gone quiet now. Perhaps he knows I'm finished working and it no longer matters whether or not he actually makes noise. Just eat a can of beans. Get the same result if it's just a noise he likes. It'll be more or less the same thing. Okay, right, well, that's enough of Grumble Freezer, I think. There was actually a story I recorded for today's video that I kind of realized halfway through that I couldn't use it for this, even though it was a great story. that because it didn't really, I got it from the Idiots in the Wild subreddit, but it didn't really involve fast food or retail or anything like that. Yeah, it was a story of a guy in a police cruiser. So, or a former police cruiser, wasn't actually a police cruiser. So what we're probably going to get in, I think maybe a week or so, I'm not sure exactly how long, say maybe next week or the week after, we're going to get another Idiots in the Wild, because there's another story I came across as well. Similar idea, quite a good story. It doesn't quite fit in with the regular kind of theme of these videos. Or rather, it fits in with the theme, but just not the actual, the kind of location. So, yeah, another Idiots in the Wild will be coming up soon. So I'm going to go and try and source some stories for that. Okay, and with that, I'm going to head off for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.